Today we're making egg roll bowls. The first thing I want to show you is actually how we're going to cut our onion for this. We want to chop it into small pieces so that it gets mixed in with all of our vegetables and adds flavor. We're gonna cut slices horizontally, not all the way through the onion, but almost all the way to the back. Keep your fingers lightly on top. And then we're going to cut vertical slices. And then when we go back over this and cut our onion, it will be chopped for us. So just go right down the top of the onion, keep your fingers tucked under. And then you just get down to this tiny piece, which is so satisfying because you're not wasting any of your ingredients. So the other thing we need to do is chop our garlic. The first thing you want to do is cut off one end of the garlic and the other end of the garlic. And then you've already done some of the work by removing the skin. Then take the thickest part of your knife and smash the garlic clove, and the skin will come off very easily. And just going over these and giving them a rough chop. I do want these in relatively small pieces so that we don't have large chunks of garlic in our stir fry. To peel your ginger, all you need to do is take the side of a teaspoon and the skin comes right off. No need to peel it with a vegetable peeler. It leaves all of the meat of the ginger and just takes off the skin. And to grate our ginger, I'll just do it right on the cutting board and use the microplaner. There are a lot of vegetables that you're sauteing in this dish, so you want a big enough pan to hold them all. There's no need to use a wok if you don't have one. You can use even a big stock pot if that's all you have. We're gonna add a little bit of avocado oil, and we're gonna let that warm up before we add our onions. They should start to sizzle. And we're gonna give this a little stir. You want the onions to soften a little bit before you add your other ingredients. And you'll notice that the edges will get almost a little clear when they're ready to add your garlic and other ingredients. Okay, we're adding our garlic and our ginger. And this is a great way to get in a lot of vegetables to your diet because the cabbage cooks way down and you're able to get in probably a day's worth of serving of vegetables in one meal. We're gonna cut our cabbage and get it ready to add to the pan. We only need about 1/4 of this. It's 2.5 cups. It will cook way down when it's in the pan. It's so beautiful and lacy. If you only have regular cabbage available, that works fine too. I'm gonna turn this over so it's on a flat side, and then we'll just cut this into small pieces. Don't worry too much about it being perfectly symmetrically cut or very thin because it will soften as it cooks down. So that is about 2.5 cups. We'll add this to our ingredients in the pan. And then we can cut our bok choy. I have 2 baby bok choy. You could use 1 large bok choy as well, whatever you can find at the grocery store. And I just start at the top. I put these together and slice this just like the cabbage. Tuck your fingers under. You'll get down to the end, and you may need to do one at a time. And just go almost all the way to the end until you're left with the root, and set that aside. The bok choy will cook down also, so these thicker pieces will soften just like the cabbage. We're also slicing some shiitake mushrooms, and only use fresh shiitake mushrooms. If you can't find them, it's fine to use cremini or button mushrooms. And we just want to slice these so they're roughly the same width as our cabbage and our bok choy. Shiitake mushrooms add so much flavor, and mushrooms in general are so good for your immune system. Okay, we're adding our mushrooms. Last but not least, we're adding some shredded carrots, and I just buy them pre-shredded at the grocery store. You can grate them on a grater if you have some carrots at home that you'd like to use up. So now we're gonna mix this up and cook it until it softens and the vegetables start to release their water and wilt. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes for this to cook down. And the reason this is called an egg roll bowl is because it's similar to the filling of a deep fried egg roll, but it's just the vegetables and the delicious sauce that give it the flavor. We're gonna let that cook for a minute, and then we're gonna add our tamari, mirin, and sesame oil. First, we'll add our tamari, the mirin, and the sesame oil. And adding this liquid, you can already see the vegetables starting to wilt a little bit more. It smells so delicious. So we're gonna let this simmer for another second and just slice up some green onions that we'll add on top when we're plating this for dinner. We're garnishing our egg roll bowls with some sliced green onions and some sesame seeds. I just like to cut these in very thin slices, and you can use the green and the white part of the green onions. Use the entire onion. We'll plate up our egg roll bowl, and I'll show you how to make it look beautiful with some green onions and sesame seeds. We're just topping this with a little bit of green onions, some sesame seeds, and you're good to go. Feel free to add a little sriracha if you'd like, but it's so flavorful, full of vegetables, and an easy weeknight dinner. I hope you love this as much as I do.